And they
That's
cooked
not true.
the intelligence.
Putin wanted Trump to win.
No,
Putin
did you read the report?
Trump.
Okay, so if you had read the report, you would have known
Jesse,
that Putin had no preference who won.
That's not true.
Okay,
Literally,
you obviously didn't read the report.
That actually has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's one of the
doesn't.
main points in the report.
The report is erroneous.
Why?
Well,
you didn't read?
Because
Jessica,
you guys are literally going back.
I'm sick of it. We spent years, 6 figures worth of
You're
legal
saying that
bills
Putin
for low-level staffers.
That the intel, that our intel community and the rest of the world.
Donald Trump was ever
Strap in, because what just exploded on Fox News wasn't a debate, it was a head-on collision. Kellyanne Conway and Jessica Tarlov went toe-to-toe in a scorched-earth fight over RussiaGate. No spin, no sugarcoating, just raw hits and brutal honesty from start to finish.
Read the report that Tulsi dropped?
I've read sections of
You
it. I
haven't
did not read
read
all
the
200
report?
pages.
Well, it wasn't
did you?
200 pages, it was 44. Oh. That's why I read them, because it wasn't 200 pages. Did you know that the assessment said that Putin wanted Trump to win? Putin tried to help Trump win? Putin had blackmail on Trump, and that Putin tried colluding with the Trump campaign.
You're saying that Putin
for low-level staffers.
That the intel, that our intel community and the rest of the world.
Donald Trump was ever president, including now when he's sending patriots to Ukraine and calling Putin.
Yeah, I think that Putin really loved it when he stood up there next to him in Helsinki and said, "Oh, he told me he didn't want to interfere in the election."
I don't really care who Putin wanted to win the election.
You just brought it up. You obviously do care.
No. It went on. Excuse me. The media needs to own up to
Why?
being part of this lie for years. 2,000 minutes. That is 2 days out of a human being's life, just in coverage of this thing called Russia
Why are there
collusion,
13 Russian
true.
nationals that were charged with interfering with the election if it wasn't true?
And
that wasn't
true.
what
That
the
wasn't
report was
Look
about.
at the Mueller report. Look at it.
The
Look what
Mueller
he said
report
about
was a joke.
interference. No, it wasn't.
There was interference, Jessica. There was
That's what we're
interference.
talking about.
No.
And that's
not
what
we're
Obama
talking about.
said.
There
Yes.
was interference, but you guys said for 2 years that there was collusion,
I'm sorry.
there was blackmail,
And that
Trump
affected the
preferred
election.
and tried to
I
help
think
Trump.
that people who said there was collusion, which is a made-up term
I'm
anyway,
not going to be besmirched as the campaign manager. I wasn't
I
talking
didn't
to people.
besmirch you. You're having a conversation by yourself.
No. I wasn't talking to people in Moscow. I was talking to people in Macomb County, Michigan, and Mecklenburg County, in North Carolina. That's how he won. He won because Hillary was a flawed candidate. And every time you guys have a candidate, you do all these shenanigans to try to stop Trump. I'm sick of it.
All right, we're going to get everybody else involved in the...
Kellyanne didn't walk in. She stormed in, tearing Jessica's RussiaGate defense apart piece by piece. This wasn't primetime chatter. It was a war over one of America's biggest political divides. Was RussiaGate real, or the greatest media-driven hoax of our time? Jessica clung to the intel reports, but Kellyanne's precision strikes exposed the cracks, and it got ugly, fast. What unfolded wasn't just noise. It revealed how deeply Americans are split over media spin, political agendas, and the truth behind intelligence claims.
Done at President Obama's direction. So they included bad information. He rejected the concerns of CIA officers. It goes on to say that the Brennan overruled professionals on the determination that Putin aspired to help Trump, who said there's no direct evidence of this. There's none. Quote, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected, and therefore the judgment that Putin was counting on Trump's victory should be removed from this ICA. Then the ICA excluded evidence from a Putin confidant that said the Russian president actually didn't care who won. So they included bad information in the report based on that flimsy, unsubstantiated, outdated BS. They overruled CIA analysts who were telling them this should come out. We don't have support for this. And then they ignored contradictory evidence that would have pushed them the other way, including this. A Putin confidant came to them and told a sensitive contact that, 1, Putin told him he did not care who won the election. 2, Putin had often outlined the weaknesses of both major candidates. And 3, Putin had asserted that in either case, quote, Russia was strategically placed to outmaneuver either one. All of this shows they had one mission, Matt, and one mission only. And that aspirational point that he was determined to help Trump and get Trump elected was a political hit job that they then leaked to the media immediately. They had one goal and one goal only, which was...
Here's how it went down. Conway came out swinging, torching the credibility of the intel reports that launched the entire RussiaGate saga. Her claim: They weren't neutral assessments, they were partisan hit jobs dressed up as intelligence. Jessica countered, painting the agencies as guardians of fact. But Kellyanne ripped into that blind trust, pointing out how bombshells quietly crumbled under scrutiny. Then came the nuclear hit. Conway accused intel chiefs of cherry-picking analysts to build a narrative against Trump. Jessica fired back hard, but the question lingered. Was Putin's supposed favoritism real or engineered to cripple a presidency? By the end, one thing was undeniable. Trust in media and intelligence is shattered. People don't want theater, they want proof.